Having felt the presence of his old master Obi-Wan on board the Death Star, Darth Vader knew he would finally get the revenge he had long sought against the Jedi Master. Although Obi-Wan would have to pay for what he did to Anakin Skywalker, it would be Vader who would collect the toll. Of course, as we all know from A New Hope, Vader would ultimately cut down his former master during their duel on the battle station. However, what wasn't so clear in the film is that following the confrontation, despite his experiences with the Jedi and Sith, Vader was terrified following the outcome of the duel and immensely confused with the disappearance of his former master. In this video expose, we'll turn to the Legends novel Death Star and look at how Vader became terrified after his duel with Obi-Wan in Episode 4. Long before their final confrontation on board the Death Star, Vader had always been engulfed with a small amount of worry when thinking about facing down his former master for the second time. Vader would certainly never forget the outcome of their previous duel on Mustafar, but it was more than that. Vader recognized that Anakin was sure he had been stronger and more skilled in combat compared to Obi-Wan. But despite the fact that Anakin was a superior fighter, he was still defeated all the same. Thus, Vader, who was similarly confident in his skill over Obi-Wan, couldn't help but wonder if he could win even now. But any of this worry went away after the opening moves of the duel. Although Vader recognized that the Force was still with the old Jedi, Obi-Wan was out of practice, and more importantly, Vader was far too powerful for him. Before long, Vader felt the energy shift towards him, symbolizing that the duel would soon be at an end. Using the dark side to anticipate and counter all of Obi-Wan's strikes almost before they began, Vader felt the anticipation of victory and revenge rise within him. But Vader still didn't underestimate Obi-Wan. Knowing what he did to Anakin, the Sith Lord allowed Obi-Wan to retreat, respecting his technique as he waited for the perfect time to strike. However, the duel then took a sudden change, as Vader heard someone calling towards Obi-Wan from the battle station's dock. While Vader wouldn't dare to look to see who it was, Obi-Wan was able to quickly glance away from Vader towards the boy. Having done so, Vader then watched as Obi-Wan did the last thing he could have possibly imagined. He smiled during a duel with the Sith Lord. Looking the least bit worried, Vader then watched as Obi-Wan lifted his lightsaber straight into the air. The unexpected action took Vader completely by surprise, causing him to pause briefly in shock. Vader also hesitated, believing that Obi-Wan's actions were a possible trap. Regardless, Vader moved quickly to shift his lightsaber, aim for Obi-Wan's neck, and then make a wide, sweeping cut from the right, feeling his blade cut through the Jedi. Immediately, a fierce feeling of joy sprang out of Vader. He had finally killed Obi-Wan and completed his revenge for what the Jedi Master did to Anakin. The dark side began to surge within Vader as powerfully as it ever had before, until it abruptly stopped. In his mind, Vader began to replay the events surrounding the end of the duel. Looking down, he recognized that there was no body, only Obi-Wan's robes and cloak. Vader could hardly believe it. In fact, he refused to. He believed his apparent victory had to be an illusion of some kind, a mind trick known only to the most powerful Jedi. It then occurred to Vader that Obi-Wan must not have taught him everything that he knew, holding back his most important knowledge with the Force. As he reached out with his boot to confirm that no body remained as proof that he killed Obi-Wan, Vader, one of the two most powerful beings in the galaxy, was afraid, terrified by his lack of understanding. Not long after the duel, as the Death Star was closing in on Yavin 4, Vader continued to try to come to terms with how Obi-Wan was able to disappear, and the meaning behind it. Vader now had to recognize that even he underestimated the power of the Force. Interestingly, Vader initially thought that Obi-Wan's ability was connected in some way to Sidious's master Darth Plagueis. Learning from Sidious that Plagueis was obsessed with preserving his self after the death of his body, Vader believed that this may be connected to the feat he'd just watched Obi-Wan perform. Regardless, the situation was one that shocked and terrified Vader, and he was determined to get answers from his master as soon as he could, once the rebels were dealt with. So there we have it, why Vader was terrified after his duel with Obi-Wan in A New Hope. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter at SW Reading Club for updates regarding the channel. Or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive rewards and discussions. If not for me... For unexpected Darth Plagueis references.